kid, Aunt Barbara was my aunt. For many of you probably know that our family had some tough times, and our aunt and uncle were always there for us. And my uncle would always say that it takes a village to raise kids. And my aunt and uncle showed us that that's not just a truism. And the 2 years that I spent with my aunt had a deep impact on me. It didn't necessarily take right away. I still had a lot of other things I had to go through. And my aunt took me in right as my grandmother Muriel was passing. And it was a really tough time. But I needed a place to go. And my aunt didn't leave me out in the cold. And Jeremy makes this joke when I went to go live with my aunt and uncle. The Cohens put out their first ever ashtray. And my aunt always fought for me. You know, I really wanted to go on this trip in my high school to Bermuda, but there was limited slots. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to go. And my aunt went and met with the person who was in charge of making the list of the students to go. And the next day when I showed up to school, they let me know that I was on the list. I don't know what she did, but she was always moving mountains for people she loves. And she taught me that, you know, you need to do the right thing even when you don't feel like doing it. A lot of people don't know that my aunt had struggles of her own. And sometimes she didn't feel like getting out of bed. But when someone told me that she helped Afghanis out of Afghanistan, I was like, of course she did. You know, that's just what my aunt does. And I'm taking this one really rough. It's starting to hit me. I'm not going to see my aunt again, and I'm going to miss her a lot.
I'm just surprised you knew the word truism. This is my daughter, my oldest daughter and tallest daughter, Emory.
Hi, I'm Emory. I wanted to thank Mima for everything. She was always so supportive of everything I did, and she was always such an amazing person to be around. I will always remember going to dinner at the diner with her, as well as when she would tell me funny stories about my dad when he was a kid before bedtime when Mima and people would babysit. Mima has taught me to always be kind to everyone and to never give up. She has made me into a better person. Mima, I miss you so much, and I love you.
Obviously, the difference in generations is that we were all using paper and we was on her phone for her remarks. Seth, we heard all about your birth, so
I don't remember that, but
let's see how the current version goes.
so I wanted to talk about something that is very important to me, but not everyone has the chance to know about it, which is the marriage story. So as far back as I can remember, Grandma taught me how important family was. Every time she visited us or I visited her, she would tell me the marriage story before I went to bed. The marriage story told the story of how she met Grandpa Allen, had their children, and then how her children met their wives and had us, and my cousins. The marriage story grew over time as there were new additions to the family. And it was always a special moment between me and my grandmother. I'm so grateful for that time we spent together. And from Grandpa camp to amazing trips and her excitement whenever I called her with great news about my life, I'm so lucky to have had a grandmother like her. She was loving, but also very strong. Even though she didn't feel well, she still came to my Eagle Scout Court of Honor, which I'm extremely grateful for. She's always been one of my greatest sources of inspiration, and I am so proud to be her grandson.